Hi, I'm Jarrod Kimber, and this is my T20 World Cup previews, and we're going to do Sri Lanka. Just of recent times, Sri Lanka's style of play has become quite attacking with the bat again. For a long time, they had a lot of sort of anchor-type players, and they've got a little bit more exciting with the bat. But it's their bowlers, and the last two World Cups, they've actually had, on paper, great bowling attacks, and we haven't seen it. I think if Sri Lanka is going to somehow make a really good run in this tournament, it is going to be the bowlers, because they have Patharana, might be the most exciting bowler in T20 cricket, who is not Jasprit Bumrah. They have Hasaranga, who's a great spinner. They have Tikshana. They have all, left arm seam. They have right arm pace. They have all these different options throughout their side. They could be a really good bowling side, and all their batting has to be slightly above par, and suddenly you're looking at a very good side. So the three match winners I'll go with are Hasaranga, their captain, who we haven't seen the most of his batting yet, but those of us who've been following his career for a long time, he can bat and he can change our lineup because of how well he can hit. But it's his bowling that's incredible. He's a leg spinner who hits the stumps just an awful amount, and he spins the ball both ways. It's an absolutely brilliant bowler, and he's going to be partnered up with Tikshana, who again, a mystery bowler, sort of pushes the ball out at the front of his hand, can spin it both ways. He can be a defensive bowler, but he can also take wickets all the way through the innings. And he's so skillful that he can bowl in the power play and in the depth, which is just a really, really important skill to have. And then the third player that I would have is Madhushanka. Left arm bowlers with pace, can move it around. We saw him bowl really well in the last ODI World Cup. I think he should be better in T20 cricket as well. If he gets some early wickets or works out how to continually take early wickets, that could be it could actually change Sri Lanka's entire tournament. The surprise package for Sri Lanka is going to be Patharana. If you have not yet seen him bowl, this last IPL, he bowled as well as anyone. His ability to take wickets, any ball, no one can hit him for six. He either bowls a dot ball, a wicket, or a wide. Those are the three options. I think his peak might even be higher than Lasith Malinga. He may never get to the level of Lasith Malinga, but his peak might be higher because I think he's faster, and he seems even more unplayable, and he bowls with a lower arm action than Malinga. He is absolute fire. In the early part of the T20 World Cup, I would say that Sri Lanka was the best team, probably before West Indies took over that mantra. They were a consistently good side. Unfortunately for them, they lost in 2009. They lost again in 2012. And both of those tournaments, they had a really, really good team, and they could have easily won. They then won in 2014. That's kind of when the great era of white ball cricket of Sri Lanka ends, right? And since then, they haven't been great. The last few tournaments, they've absolutely tormented the sides that aren't better than them. But when they've stepped up, they haven't looked as good. I think this is a slightly better side, but I still have some issues when it comes to their batting. And I don't know if they can really match the genuine contenders when it comes to batting. So I would have them maybe around the 6th, 7th, or 8th best side in this tournament. They have a difficult group. It really depends on how well the Netherlands and Bangladesh play in this tournament. Bangladesh, I'm not sure. I rate them massively in T20 cricket. But if they can give Sri Lanka a good game, and the Netherlands can certainly beat Sri Lanka as well, then Sri Lanka has to beat South Africa, who is just a better side than them. So it's a tricky group for them, and they could get caught there. The biggest challenges, I think, for Sri Lanka is just going to be making enough runs. If you look at the other batting lineups, even a side like New Zealand, it's probably not in that top 4 category. Their batting is pretty tried and tested, and everyone kind of knows what they're going to do. We're not quite feeling that with Sri Lanka at the moment. Can they make enough runs? And the other issue, and this is just bad luck for them, they've never been able to keep their great bowling attack on the field for enough time to actually use it. If they can manage to do that, they could cause some real issues for some of the other sides. The pitch conditions in the group games for them are all over the place. They play a game in New York, then they're in Florida, and then they go to St. Lucia. That's incredible. 4 different pitches. There aren't that many sides who have that much of a varying, background. And so they play South Africa on a good batting wicket. They probably would prefer to play them on one of the other wickets that might do a little bit more. And we're assuming that New York wicket's going to be a pretty good batting wicket anyway. So it's random, these pitch conditions. Once they get to the West Indies, outside of St. Lucia, which probably won't help them, they will get some more help for their spinners. They may not get that as much in America, so playing their group games in America might not help them as much as they would like. Will America fall in love with Sri Lanka? they probably have to play really, really good cricket. But if America sees Patharana, I can't imagine seeing Patharana and not knowing anything about cricket and not being excited by him, because it's such a weird action. And if you've watched any cricket at all, Patharana is going to look even weirder. So they may not fall in love with Sri Lanka, but hopefully, you know, we get Patharana on Sports Center one day, and you know, maybe he ends up with an article on the Ringer about this weird guy. That would be fantastic. Look, when it comes to predictions for Sri Lanka, I think I've said it all in the rest of the video. I think they are better than the lower ranked teams, but I don't think they're that much better than any of the good teams. If they are in a position where they are fighting for a semi-final spot, I think they've had a really, really good tournament. I just don't see them playing in a semi-final. Well, that's it from me on this T20 World Cup preview. Remember to like and subscribe and do all those things that talkSPORT Cricket wants you to do on this channel. We're going to have so much coverage of cricket here. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing with your life?
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.